Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about Trump and how his rhetoric, his statements have taken on a new edge. What that shift likely means for his mindset and what it may mean for the future in two different ways, really. If you don't know, over the last couple of days, the former president has engaged in some rhetoric that some people might construe as threatening. I think one of the first examples where this shift became really public was when he was asked about the prospect of him going to jail. And he said, "I think it's a very dangerous thing to even talk about, because we do have a tremendously passionate group of voters, much more passion than they had in 2020, much more passion than they had in 2016. I think it would be very dangerous." Dangerous to who? To who? Specifically, that should have been the follow-up question here. Who do his voters pose a danger to? Other Americans? The prosecutors? Who specifically is he talking about? And I find the use of voters interesting here because much more passion than they had in 2020 when they lost, right? I don't think he's talking about turning up at the ballot box in big numbers here. He also shared on his little social media site a clip. It's kind of ominous looking, very Big Brother Orwellian vibes to the imagery on it. But it basically says, if you mess with us, we are going to do things to you that have never been done before. Okay, I do want to point out that for somebody who is trying to talk tough, I don't know that cuts it, because I don't know if that's a threat or the promise of a good time. But certainly, based on the headlines, most people took it as a threat. It's worth noting that he didn't post that audio, but he shared it. It's also worth noting that that original statement came when he was threatening Iran. So, what has caused this shift? He's scared. He's scared. He's angry because things are out of his control, and he's lashing out. Now, what can happen from here? I don't necessarily think that Smith would do this, but this could absolutely... Trump could be talking himself into another indictment. This is definitely language that is not fitting a former president. Even if it doesn't end up creating another indictable offense, the idea that he is going to benefit from his former position, that protecting the institution of the presidency thing that we talked about for so long, stuff like this is something that may not make it matter when it comes time to sentencing. In that first quote, we don't know who his passionate supporters would be a danger to, but what we do know is that they would be Americans. Stirring up, putting that out there, that's not something that prosecutors or judges tend to look kindly on. Combined with the clip that is definitely taken from an instance where he is threatening somebody. I don't know that that's I don't know that that's something that the U.S. government's going to look very fondly on. The other thing that might happen is that he might be right. He still has a lot of people who believe in him. There's still a lot of people who don't understand that the last time he talked this tough, he didn't even walk down the road with the people that he sent into harm's way. He has a whole lot of people tricked. That kind of rhetoric, those people who are still very much under his spell, it might influence them. So there's probably a reason to be on a little bit of an elevated alert. The reason he's lashing out, it has to be that he's aware of the odds of that second indictment. Beating the feds at trial once, oh, that's hard. Beating them twice, that doesn't seem likely, statistically speaking. Especially when there is as much evidence as there certainly appears to be. His fear, it might prove incredibly damaging to this country, because it seems unlikely that he is going to temper his rhetoric. Hopefully, his attorneys will sit down and talk to him and basically explain this is a really bad idea. Stirring people up, basically duplicating a lot of the rhetoric that is in many ways responsible for the situation he's in, is a really bad idea. He seems to be very willing to put other people at risk to secure his position. I don't know that that's a good quality of leadership. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.